Hi, this is Luke Eccles again from Fantasy Bros Sports, coming at you with a little thoughts for Thursday for the Open Championship. A little bit of always got to have the overreaction Thursday. You got some players do well as expected, others not so well. So to start off the thoughts for Thursday section. Really want to talk about the differences in the tee times. It really seemed like the early tee times today had the advantage over the later tee times. Of course, got a lot more firm and fast the later in the day. All the leaders, I think pretty much the entire top 10 were guys primarily that came from the early round tee times. So, looking ahead, that's going to make a big difference for tomorrow because they're looking at the early tee times tomorrow being the bad weather coming in, the rain, a little bit higher wind. So, the guys that had the tougher tee times this afternoon are going to have to turn around and play in those tough conditions for tomorrow morning. So, there's a lot of pretty big name players that we're going to be sweating it out. I feel like tomorrow night, early morning, I guess. We'll probably all find out when we wake up in the morning where some of those guys stand, but it's definitely going to be interesting. So, a few other thoughts I had was Phil. Where was Phil? I almost feel like they were intentionally keeping him off of the camera. Just probably some of the mishaps that's happened recently. I mean, he shot +2, which was right around middle of the pack, wasn't all that bad for the day, but he was not on camera. They didn't even really show too many highlights from him, so maybe just a coincidence. Maybe there was something to that. So the next thing was Brooks Koepka. I mean, way to fight back, big dog. I mean, he was +5, I think, after 2 or 3 holes, and fought all the way back to +1. So he was just on fire on the back nine, and he's a player that Fantasy Bro Sports is sticking behind this weekend, so we definitely are rooting for Brooks to hang in there and kick some butt tomorrow. Dustin Johnson, tough day for DJ. He was another golfer that obviously top-ranked guy, #1 golfer in the world. We were all behind him for the Open Championship Major. Had a rough day. I mean, first thing I'll kind of talk about is strategy-wise. I mean, they were talking all day today on the coverage about specifically Dustin Johnson and Brooks Koepka's strategy for the Open Championship was to drive it over the bunkers, drive it beyond the bunkers up close to the green, and try to get a putt. Drive it and putt. I mean, seems like a pretty simple strategy. It didn't work for DJ today. I mean, whether it was his driver wasn't on, I know he hit some wedges that probably weren't what he was looking for as well. So, but also, Koepka had the same strategy. Koepka was on fire on the back nine. I think he had 6 birdies on the back nine today. So it's a strategy that can produce a lot of birdies in a short amount of time. And, being behind DJ, having DJ in 90% of my DraftKings lineup, definitely rooting for him to go on a big birdie streak tomorrow. So hopefully that happens for all of us. The other thing I wanted to mention too was hole number 18 at Carnoustie has some out of bounds that is real right next to the grandstands, and I guess I saw several players affect several players today where they would hit beyond the green close to the grandstand, and probably 5 foot out from the grandstand there's fences that run around there, and if it goes beyond that fence then it's out of bounds. I saw on most American courses they don't make that out of bounds. I mean, there's typically always a grandstand back there behind the 18th hole where fans sit and stuff, and in America, for the most part, you hit a shot back there and it hits that grandstand, it's a man-made obstruction, so you get a free drop. It's almost sometimes like a bank shot in basketball. So, having it a little bit different at Carnoustie, and I know it's been like that for longer than I've been alive, but it's definitely different strategy than what the PGA Tour uses in America. And from what I seen today, the way it's set up, it affected the game a lot more than uh, what just hitting the grandstand and taking a free drop would have. And you know, I guess specifically around DJ, he hit his pitching wedge a little thin on 18, hit the green, but it ran so far off the green around back past the hole, rolled out of bounds beyond the fence. I mean, he could have played the shot back towards the green pretty easily, saved the uh, drop stroke that he had to take. He ended up triple bogeying that hole, so definitely affected the game in that aspect. But just kind of a opinion that I had. A couple things, Rory been inconsistent lately. He looked really good today. He looked calm, in control of the game. They said mid round as he was doing great that he switched his swing up, came trying to come a little more straight up and down instead of getting such a wide turn, and his swing looked great. So Rory's definitely gonna be in contention on the weekend. I feel like Justin Thompson or Justin Thomas. I'm sorry, he has a beard, which would have been great to know. I mean, that's the kind of reporting that we need from the Golf Channel. That he's got a beard and he's just ready to ball out, because Justin Thomas looked really good today as well. He looked in control of the game. He was laying off the tee a little bit to have fairway shots into the green, and that strategy definitely looked like it was working for JT today. He missed a couple birdie putts that he could have made and even had a better round, but for the most part definitely looked in charge of his game. They're the British Open, the Open Championship, always one of the best courses for crazy, amazing shots of the day. So, there was a couple of them I saw. The first one that I saw was Brandon Stone. He was a sleeper that we were touting on 18, that same 18th hole I was talking about, the fence that runs along the grandstand there. He hit a wayward shot left of the hole. It looked like it was for sure going out of bounds, bounced off of that metal fence, shot right back onto the green, ended up going from a double bogey probably to par for Brandon Stone. So definitely good break for him, putting that at the shot of the day. Poultier hit a shot, was in the fescue, scolded out of the fescue, got a lucky 1 in a million bounce over the Vanderbilt Creek, was still rolling, had a big pot bunker, and somehow rolled through, up over the pot bunker and onto the green. He thought it was in the water and was definitely happy to know that it was on the green. So helped him save par. That's another guy that we were touting for DraftKings play. So happy that worked out for him. And then got to put Tiger up there. There was Tiger played good today. Finished even. Looked great on the front nine. Kind of lost some momentum on the back nine, but the hole that he hit driver over Hogan's Alley. I guess there was a place that Ben Hogan used to always aim for with his driver. He could hit it longer than everybody, and so they named this area of the fairway Hogan's Alley. But Tiger just blistered 400-yard drive over Hogan's Alley, and it was sweet to see. So those are my 3 shots of the day. So, right now it looks like the cut's gonna be right around +2, which doesn't really mean much after a Thursday, but there are picks that we're feeling pretty good about right now. Fantasy Bro Sports, and there's also a few picks that we're gonna be sweating it out tomorrow. So going through our picks, Finau, it's looking good. Ryan Moore looking solid. Brandon Stone was up there. Zach Johnson had a good day. Matthew Southgate, Hendrik Stenson, Alex Noren, all those guys are under par. You got Molinari, Cantley, and Haotong Li. They're all right up there, and hopefully have a great day on Friday and is in contention on the weekend, okay? So, a couple guys that are right there still inside the cut line, but definitely we're expecting more from. Mark Leishman started out the round real well, had a bad hole, kept it right around +1 for the day. Stuart Sink, he's right there at +1. Louis Oosthuizen, Bjork, a sleeper we had, and then like I mentioned earlier, Brooks Koepka fought it back. All those guys are right at +1. Hopefully have a good Friday and are in contention for the weekend. There's several guys, maybe not several. There's 5 guys, 5 of our picks. Not too bad, but they need some work on Friday. These guys are right at the cut line or below. Ian Poultier played some decent golf today. Definitely have confidence that he can make the cut tomorrow. Brandon Grace, Hatton, and Reed, those guys need to get to work tomorrow. I mean, Reed did not look very good today. He looked all off sorts. Didn't really get to see much of Grace and Tyrrell Hatton play, but definitely they're beyond the cut line, so need good days out of them tomorrow. And then DJ, #1 player in the world, was the favorite to win the tournament, and I think he's tied for 134th place. So he needs to go on a birdie run or 2 tomorrow and be successful. So, yeah, nice talking with everybody. If you're enjoying the videos, please share them, whether it be on Facebook, Fantasy Bro Sports, on Twitter, Fantasy Bro Sports. Didn't get the Instagram, Insta stories up and running here soon. So, yeah, YouTube, please subscribe to the Fantasy Bro Sports YouTube channel. Help share the videos, get the word out there. So, with that, talk to you all later.